The Uncle Tim Show on Vintage Radio 1077.
That's a fact. Jack, it's the Uncle Tim Show. No rap, no crap, just vintage Uncle Tim, and I'll be with you here till about 10 o'clock tonight. But right now, I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I am live from Rhythm City Casino Studios right here, downtown Erie. And I got a special guest tonight. I think some of you know about it. I have the founder and CEO of Ballyhoo Hospitality on the line, Ryan O'Donnell, chef, family man, and pretty close to being a scratch golfer. He's the best golfer I know. He just informed me he's not a scratch golfer. But anyway, from Chicago, Illinois, Ryan O'Donnell. Are you there, Ryan?
I'm here, Uncle Tim. How you doing?
Pretty good. I guess I should have informed the folks that you are also my son-in-law. So one of us is in the hot seat, and it's probably me.
I think I'm always in the hot seat, so I'm happy it's you this time.
I've seen you in action, and a lot of the folks don't know anything about you if they didn't check out my Facebook page. CEO of Ballyhoo Hospitality. You're in the big windy city. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, Ryan.
Well, Anna and I, your lovely daughter, have a hospitality company called Ballyhoo, like you just said. And, you know, I'm from the North Shore of Chicago. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona in my formative years. From age 7 to 17, I came back here for my senior year in high school, finished at Loyola Academy. Went out to University of Denver after that, made a valiant attempt at college. Didn't quite get through a year and a half, but found my passion working in restaurants, which was nice, and transferred back home to culinary school and went to Kendall College, which at that point was on the campus of Northwestern in Evanston, and did pretty well there. And you know, it's been the restaurant life ever since.
When did the light bulb go off? When did that light bulb strike that said, I want to be in hospitality, I want to be a chef, I want to be in restaurants?
When I realized I wasn't going to be getting a degree in school anymore, I figured I probably should get serious about something. I'd been working two different jobs at the time at University of Denver. On the campus there, I was at Mustard's last stand during the day, flipping burgers and frying fries. I'd go across the street to the local bistro at night, and I was a prep cook there. So I developed a passion in the kitchen and loved cooking and working with food, and enjoyed the hospitality part of it, and liked to peek out in the front of the house and kind of see what it was like to host people. And, you know, the energy of a restaurant kind of grabbed me then, and I think that's probably when the light bulb went off. My first job I ever had was I was 14, and I started at the time it was a biker bar outside Aspen, Colorado, in Woody Creek, called the Woody Creek Tavern, where Hunter Thompson used to hang out. And I'd go down there and play pool, and the waitresses offered me a busboy job for the summer. So I did that for 2 summers when I was 14, 15. So I actually started young, and kind of it's all I've really known.
I've seen you in action. It really is your true calling. Tell everybody what you got going right now. What your restaurants? What have you got? What establishments there in Chicago?
Right now, I just stepped outside of Sophia Steak up in Wilmette, and that's our most recent one. We opened a couple months back. We were actually, our opening night party was going to be right before the week of the pandemic. Well, the shutdown. The state of Illinois shutdown happened the week of our opening party. So
that was pretty rough.
That was kind of rough. Ended up being okay, but this is currently our 4th restaurant in the portfolio. Our first is Gemini. It used to be Gemini Bistro in Lincoln Park, and that opened in 2009. Then Coda de Volpe, Italian restaurant in the Southport corridor that we opened with Billy Lawless in 2015, I think, maybe 16. And then passion project called Old Pueblo Cantina, a Mexican cantina, and also in Lincoln Park. We opened that last year. So these last couple of years have been fun.
This whole COVID-19 thing, like you say, it struck right when you were getting ready to have your grand opening for Sophia Steak, and boy, you're going to have to lay the rules on us nowadays. How bad were you hit with this COVID-19? I mean, how bad was Chicago hit? How many places are not coming back?
Yeah, I think there's a lot not coming back. It's kind of TBD on that because loans are just starting to come to an end, and the summer months have been nice with the patios. But I think when people start losing the outdoor seating and people aren't eating inside and the 25% rule stays in effect, we're going to see a lot more closures. So I think we've definitely seen some now, and I think unfortunately we'll see more in November. For Ballyhoo, we've been kind of fortunate just because our restaurants are positioned in the neighborhoods, and we have a great following that's been very supportive, and with our to-go program and deliveries. So we've weathered the storm nicely, and there's the future's still scary, of course, but right now we're doing okay. Obviously, sales are way down from what they could be or what they were last year. So you just got to manage everything a little differently.
Right now, you're at 25% can be inside. Is that correct?
So the 25% thing is in the city of Chicago, and so yeah, for those three restaurants, Gemini, Coda, and Old Pueblo, yeah, that's true. And then up in Wilmette, we're at you just have to be 6 feet apart on the tables. So it's the state guidelines. So
Same.
it's not a percentage occupancy. It's just 6 feet apart.
Same for the patios.
Patios, yep, all tables 6 feet apart. Yep, for sure.
And all your employees in the restaurant, we got to do the masks.
Yep, we got to do the masks. Everyone's got to do the masks in the kitchens. Yeah, so it's bothersome and it's different, and but of course it's necessary and part of the guidelines, and something we're all adhering to pretty strictly.
It is really rough. I mean, I was watching a comedian last night, and it said it's tough to act normal when your waitress is wearing a face shield and is dressed like a nuclear welder. But
Yeah.
they're hot and it's rough, but you got to follow the rules. And like you say, the future is scary too because nobody knows what's going to happen. They don't even know what's going to happen with schools. Have you heard much on that front in Chicago? Does anybody really know, or is it a day by day thing?
I think it's kind of up in the air. I'm not as in tune to it as, of course, Anna is, at least for our kids. I think it sounds like they're going to school normal, although they got to wear masks throughout the day. I know there's some other schools up here that are kind of taking turns, depending which grade you're in, and they're trying to reduce the amount of kids that are in schools. But frankly, I'm not too sure about what's going to happen there.
Yeah, let's not talk about COVID. It's depressing. I know that a lot of restaurants are not weathering the storm. I know that your restaurants are, and I want to hear from you. What makes your restaurants so special, so popular? I know you have a fantastic following and a lot of loyal employees. How do you do it?
Well, I think kind of the old school approach to hospitality is what makes Ballyhoo kind of what it is, and not just doing our best to greet people the right way, to try and remember their name or their drink or what they ate last time they were in, and just making them feel comfortable and welcome, and putting that front and center as opposed to kind of following a reservation book, or like being able to bend the rules, I guess, to to make the guests make sure they feel special and and the number one focus. So I think that's what makes Ballyhoo special. And we have, our employees. We have a very unbelievable staff at all the restaurants that have come back and stuck with us and seem to love the company and want to be a part of it and support it. And I think one of the really nice things that we try to do best is just keep an open door policy to their thoughts, their advice, and try and learn from them, because they're on the front line for us, and they're our first point of contact with our guests. And when I want to know something about what's kind of happening in the restaurants, I go to the servers or the bartenders or the people that are interacting with the guests the most. So we're fortunate.
I've seen you in action. You're a good example because I've seen. It doesn't matter if you're owner, CEO. You do it all. I mean, whatever needs. You're great with people, but if something's not working, hey, if you need to go in the kitchen and start cooking, hey, you do it. So
Yeah, I have the ability to. I've tried to. One of the hardest things I had to teach myself was to not do that anymore, and kind of let everybody do their job, give them the tools, show them support, and let them make mistakes and let them learn from those, and let them get better, and try not to do too much. And I've found it's been kind of the best thing for the business and for the employees and for myself, just because it allows them to develop. And the operation actually has gotten better with me kind of not micromanaging and me stepping out of the way and letting everyone else do their job, because they all know what they're doing very well. And so it's been nice. It's been rewarding to see that.
To give the listeners a little perspective, when this whole COVID thing came down, how many people did you have to lay off, furlough, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, that was one of the worst days ever for Anna and and I think for kind of everyone involved. I think we had 240 employees. We kept, I want to say, 6 salaried employees at each store, so maybe we had 20 to 24 employees that we kept full time, and unfortunately we had to let everyone else go, and it was a temporary layoff. So yeah, it was a tough day for sure.
You're bringing them back as you can. How many have you brought? You still got people that are not back. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, without being at full capacity, we couldn't bring everyone back. Just the numbers don't make sense when you can't justify the payroll with the sales. So, but I want to say each store's, Anna would know a lot better than I would the number exactly, but I think we got around 40 at each store. So, that's 160 employees back out of 240, I want to say. So
I think
we're
you're.
we're getting there.
Yeah, I think you're doing a lot better than some restaurants. And I think about running one restaurant, how much work that is, let alone running several. I guess if you've got one successful restaurant, maybe you can just you just copy it over to the others. But it sounds like a lot of paperwork.
It would be nice if you could just replicate it and copy it right over, but unfortunately, it doesn't quite work that way. It's each business is different, and we're trying to streamline as much as we can across the board. That's been one of the bonuses about COVID. It's kind of allowed us to restart and look at some of our shortcomings and some of the things we weren't doing great before. Has allowed us to kind of look at the big picture and start to tackle some of the projects we've wanted to implement for a long time. And when you have restaurants that are already up and running, it's really tough to change them on the fly like that. And the fact that we were kind of able to start over gave us an opportunity to implement some new systems that will be beneficial for everyone. So that's been kind of a silver lining for us.
How about Ballyhoo? Where's that name come from?
Ballyhoo is a pinball machine. Well, I think it was the first pinball machine ever made in the 20s, and it was the inspiration for my grandfather's company, Bally Manufacturing, and the Ballyhoo was also a magazine that was kind of a coin-operated trade magazine, and I grew up with this little wooden box in my parents' living room, and it was called the Ballyhoo. So something I just have always seen since I was a little kid, and by definition, Ballyhoo kind of means hoopla, energy, and I just felt it was a fitting name to kind of honor some of my family's past, and also something that reflects the hospitality industry. And the little pinball machine actually is now in my Nana's home. So
That's that's very cool. I just played the Who Pinball Wizard. I think you are the Pinball Wizard.
I think your daughter Anna is actually the pinball wizard.
Oh, okay. Well,
But if you knew what she did, you would be in agreement. I think you do know what she does, but
I really do. I read something. For those listening, if you want to know a little bit about Ryan O'Donnell, actually, all you have to do is Google Ryan O'Donnell, Chicago, and a lot of great things will come up there. And I saw a little piece that you had commented on about she frees you up to do your thing because she handles all the paperwork, all the taxes, all the invoicing, payroll. I mean, just payroll alone has got to be a nightmare.
yeah, especially four of them. I do not make it easy on her, and she makes it very easy on me, which I'm grateful for. But she's amazing. She's definitely the backbone of Ballyhoo, and she is the main reason we've been able to grow successfully, and also the main reason why we've been able to weather the storm through this pandemic that we're going through now. So
You're just saying that because
uh,
I'm your father-in-law.
no, no, I'm not.
I
Definitely not. I speak the truth on this one.
I know that you do. I know that what she does. She's kind of a chip off the old man. We worry too much, and you two complement each other. You're more laid back and settle her down. She gets that from me. So we're just have to be reined in every once in a while and say simmer down.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that know me well probably wouldn't call me laid back, but I'll take it. And yeah, Anna, fortunately, um, fortunately, is very organized, and she's a taskmaster. So
Do you have any new irons in the fire that you can tell us about?
yeah, actually, we're partnering in a new restaurant. It's a Greek concept uh, over in Logan Square. We're partnering with Doug Salkus, who was with Lettuce the last 10 years, and he has a vision and a passion for a Greek taverna. So we start construction on that next week, and putting together the business plan has been fun, and investigating and learning about Greek cuisine has been rewarding also, just because I like Greek food. I don't know a lot about it, so I've been learning a lot, which is cool. So that's the one thing we have in the fire right now, one and only.
Well, I certainly don't know anything about Greek food. And actually, when I go to any of your restaurants, it makes me realize that I know nothing about food. Is it like the movie Rocky? I live out here near you. I'm kind of a ham and egger. That was a line out of a Rocky. I'm a burgers and fries ham and egger. I get in there. I can't even. I've got to ask. You've got some amazing things that I could never come up with or pronounce, for that matter.
Uh, oh, at the restaurants, yeah, but you're in the clean plate club, so every time you go, you're always
Oh,
at a plate. Which you're
amazing.
you're a professional eater.
I am a professional eater, and folks, you get into any of these restaurants, you won't have any problem cleaning your plate. That's for sure. Hey, you're in the people business. I was in the people business only in a service industry with repair. I know that you must get hit up with a lot of crazy complaints, even though, you're never going to make people happy all the time. And the occasional rowdy crowd. Have you ever had one moment where you've just wanted to blow your stack?
It happens weekly, actually. And I thought you were going to ask for a specific incident, and it's funny. I would have told you I can't think of one just because they happen so frequently that it kind of goes into one ear. We deal with it, we fix it, and then I just want to forget about it because it's part of the business and part of what we do. And I think that's another thing about Ballyhoo that we've gotten really good at. We're not perfect, but dealing with situations like that is something we kind of pride ourselves on. So
Well, you really run some class establishments, and actually, I remember one just because I don't hear about the daily ones. I think it involved too much drink and some mashed potatoes flying through the air at Gemini back in the day. Is that
yeah, that might have been one of my buddies, but I'm not sure.
Hey, I know the COVID is really the big thing now, but being close to Wrigley, well, for Coda de Volpe, has that really mattered? No baseball season. You really catch a crowd from that as well, don't you?
It helps. We're lucky in the fact that Southport Corridor is kind of its own neighborhood, and it's only zero point 0.8 miles away from Wrigley, but it's kind of got its own thing going. Luckily, because Wrigleyville is unless there's a game going, is pretty dead. So we're fortunate that the Southport Corridor is kind of a suburb in the city. So no, it hasn't affected us, and not to say when the season is in play, we do get a boost on game days for sure. So
You were a big time Sox fan. Have you switched gears?
yeah, it's tough for me to admit that. I definitely have been a Sox fan my whole life. Having the boys, Danny, Michael, and Dylan, growing up so close to Wrigley and being Cubs fans, it's been tough to not switch over. And opening the restaurant, so it was 2016 because that's when we opened Coda. Opening Coda the same year the Cubs won was really cool. That kind of gave me a boost to switch teams.
To to
Unfortunately,
to, to join the other side.
I am not saying I joined the other side at all. I'm still a Sox fan. I'll root for both. Before I would never root for the Cubs. So
All right. No, that reminds me of a political question. What is the atmosphere these days with small business and government? Is it a good situation right now? Tax wise, is it tough to have any kind of a small business?
wow, you're throwing out the political question.
I'm just wondering what the atmosphere for anybody wanting to open up a business now is it tough in these days in this day and age?
The SBA has been great for us in the fact that they have loan programs set up and long-term amortization situations that are very beneficial for purchasing real estate and helping with construction loans and doing that. So, I don't know too much more about it than that. I think opening a small business right now, obviously in a pandemic, is probably tough. But as far as the Small Business Association they've been very helpful for us in the past.
That's
And right
about
now.
that's as political as I'm going to get, and I'm not going to keep you too long. I know you got lots of things to do, but I got a few more questions. Someone who made the biggest impression on you, people, or to what do you attribute your success? Is there any certain person or not?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the easy answer for me is my parents, and more importantly, not more important, but my mother was probably a larger influence in the culinary world for sure, and kind of educating me on food my whole life, and she's an amazing chef herself, and so she introduced us to all sorts of different cuisines growing up as kids. We were able to travel, see the world, and she was always showing us different stuff, taking us to different restaurants, and she actually was the one who kind of nudged me into going to culinary school. So she probably deserves the most credit of anyone as far as influence on me. And I got a lot. She's an artist and extremely creative and has an extraordinary design sense. So a lot of the stuff that I've gotten into in my career, I've also gotten in from her DNA. So it's my creativity and my ability to kind of be a part of the design and architectural plans and things like that I love to do. I definitely have gotten from her. My father, he's a professional eater himself, so he's taught me how to eat. So he's got to get some credit. They always like to host parties and have people over. So growing up, we always had large soirees and things of that nature. So.
How about your golf game? Let's go over to your golf game. I thought you were a scratch golfer. I know you're an amazing golfer. You say you're not a scratch golfer.
No, I'm definitely not a scratch. I think I'm probably about a 4 right now. Some would say I'm a little better than a 4, but the handicap in the system, I believe, says 4. So
I know I know you and Kerry Wood golf. Who else have you golfed with? I think you beat up on Kerry quite a bit.
Kerry's a good buddy. He and I have played a few times this summer already. We've had some fun matches. He was my teammate once, so not always beating up on him. And some other people, Thomas Hollywood Henderson I played with for a bunch of different times. I was fortunate as a kid, I got to play with Davis Love, so he was always my favorite golfer, and gave me and my older brother a lesson when we were kids, which was a special thing.
You lined us up with Kerry Wood so we could interview him. I tell my friends here that you and I have a relationship with Kerry like Elaine and Jerry did with Keith Hernandez in that Seinfeld episode. Do you remember that one?
Kind of.
They both have, yeah. You and I both have a man crush on Kerry. Not really, but hey, who else have you famous have you golfed with? Besides those two, I almost thought you had met up with Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods down in Florida at one time.
I have seen them around at the on the course or at the club, but no, I've never played with either of those guys. I've met them both, but definitely have not played with them. That would be something very cool.
Well, they're scared of you.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I definitely don't think either of those guys are scared of me. But
hey, are my grandkids listening tonight?
I'd give it a go. What's that?
Yeah, you'd give it a go. Are my grandkids listening tonight?
I hope so. If they're not, I think you probably recorded this, so
yeah.
I might play it for them later. But if they are listening, we can say hi. Hi, Danny. Hi, Michael. Hi, Dylan.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I know that you're a coach as well now, and things are going well. I'm pretty proud of you for taking on the coaching role. Many other things that you got going on.
It's so much fun watching the kids play Little League, even with masks on.
I was going to say, do the Little Leaguers have to wear masks?
Yeah, they got to wear masks in the dugout, and then some of them wear it in the field. And I mean, if you think it's hard getting your staff in a restaurant to wear it, try a bunch of 6-year-old kids in the baseball diamond. It's almost near impossible. So, but it's been a blast. So it's going to be a short season, but a fun one.
All right. Well, anything else you want to throw out at us?
Not really. I usually call you Papa Tim, so I appreciate you having me on the Uncle Tim show, and and it's been fun and a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a while. So
We
thanks for having me.
we have been talking about it, and I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us about the restaurants. Anybody that wants to know about the restaurants can basically Google Ryan in Chicago or ask me. Hey Ryan, since since it is a radio station, what kind of music do you like? I gotta ask that.
I'm all over the board. I don't have an exact answer for that because there's not much I don't like. I think maybe country would probably be the only thing you might not find in a playlist of mine. But I'm not too big of a music buff, but I like everything.
You like it all. That's a very that's quite that answer covers it all right there. Hey, every winter, do you think about the Tucson days like I do?
Oh yeah, I think of every time I go into Old Pueblo. I do the winter. Well, Tucson in general is great, and every time I think of Tucson, I think of the monsoon season and the smell of the wet desert, which is awesome. We took the kids there last summer or last spring, so we had a great time.
It
I'd
it
like
only
to go back and visit.
it only takes about 20 below zero for me to get thinking about it. But anyway, Ryan, hey, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. And hey, everybody, go in there, check out one of these establishments and have some good food. And let's cross our fingers about this fall with this COVID thing and that things can continue to open up.
Thanks, Uncle Tim. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Thanks again, Ryan. And hey, we'll catch you in Chicago. Bye now.
Sounds good. See you soon. Bye.
All right, folks. Well, we're back to regular programming.